So here's a burning question. Should you get a pet when you move into retirement? As you can see, I have a pet. This is Sasquatch, very lovely friend. And I think it's a lot of people, as they're moving into retirement, they're very concerned about being lonely. And so a very common response is, I'll just get a pet. And so I want to give you some guidelines, some suggestions to help you evaluate whether or not a pet is the right option for you. First off, do you plan to travel? Because this little friend is not a good traveling dog. Now, you might have some dogs are very good with traveling. I have a brother-in-law who drives over the road trucking and takes a dog with him and has for years, has different dogs, and they ride on the truck with him, and he uses that as a great way to go for a walk. But for me, trying to get this little friend to go anywhere except for the groomers is a challenge. Like, she's just not a good travel dog. And I know the idea of having a pet is comforting, but you have to realize that you're not going to be able to travel as much as you want unless you have a really good dog sitter, somebody who either you're going to be boarding the dog and you're comfortable, or they're going to be staying at their house, or you have someone that's going to come to your house. It's a big deal. We don't travel half as much as I would like to because we don't have somebody who can stay with our dogs. And when you're in your second act and you're home a lot, your dogs get used to having a body around all the time, and they're used to being able to go out, they're used to having attention. They can suffer from their own anxiety. They can feel lonely because you're gone on a trip and there's no one who's going to take the same care of your dogs as you. So if traveling is in your guidelines, and I think she's going to leave me now. Bye, honey. If traveling's in your plans, having a pet really could put a damper on your plans, because there's something that you're always going to have to take into consideration, and it's an added expense. If you're boarding them or having someone come over and watch them, all of a sudden there's a couple $100s that you're adding to your budget. And it's a hassle too to make sure that you have everything you need for the dog. And we're constantly like, can you send a picture of the dog? We miss the dogs all the time when we travel, my daughter and I, because it feels uncomfortable leaving them and knowing they're not getting the same care that you would give them. And I know it seems like a really weird thing, but it's important to think about before you make that big step and say, oh, I want to fill my life. I want to have this other creature in my world so I'm not so lonely. There are stages when it makes sense and there's stages when it doesn't. So if you're in early retirement and you don't already have a pet, I would suggest hold off or get a cat that is easier to leave, because dogs really need the attention, they need the love, and they're used to you, again, being around all the time. Now, if you're in the later stages of your retirement, when you've done your traveling and you've had a lot of fun and you're ready to really be home, that is the perfect time to get a pet, because she is a great companion. She sleeps with me. She follows me around the house no matter what room I'm going in. My dog follows me. And that's great. If you're lonely or you're worried about being alone, having someone that you can talk to, having someone to entertain you, she's constantly a goofball, and it's also somebody for you to care for. So in the later retirement years, having a pet is terrific, especially if you don't get to see your kids or your grandkids that much. It's some presence in your house. It's very comforting. And also at night, having a dog helps you feel a little bit safer, because they will let you know if there's something to be concerned about. If they start barking in the middle of the night, then you might know something's going on. But again, you have to judge your stage of retirement. And I have friends that have gotten pets and then regretted it, and I don't want that for you. Something you have to consider, that lifestyle piece. If you need to walk a lot for your health reasons, again, a dog is great. And then think about the size of the dog. If you're going to be doing a lot of walking and you want a dog that really, or maybe you're going to be hiking, you're going to want a bigger dog. This little dog does not hike. She can do strolls around the neighborhood, but she's got little legs. She's not going up a mountainside. So think about the dogs, especially if you're going to a rescue and you have just a few dogs to choose from. Think about the size of the dog. Can they handle terrain? If you're going to be on the beach, do you have a dog that can get sand in and out of their coat? If you're allergic to dogs, like in my case, this dog is hypoallergenic because she has hair. She's a Shih Tzu Yorkie mix. So she doesn't shed. If you're wearing black, like I wear black all the time, think about a dog or a cat that's going to be shedding all over you. Is that really what you want in your lifestyle? If you're going to have people to your house, do you want dog hair everywhere? Like, people don't think of these things. They just think, oh, look at this cute little adorable dog, I want it. No, if you're entertaining a dog or especially a cat is not the best idea for you. What is that lifestyle? And then also be thinking about your archetype. So again, I do the quiz at the bottom. I'll leave a link for you. But knowing your archetype will know what kind of pet and what kind of maintenance you can handle. If you're somebody like me who's a romantic and likes things to be easy, having a high maintenance animal in your life is not a good thing. She's very low maintenance, but I do have to groom her all the time. So do you want to have grooming bills, or do you want the freedom to go places? Do you want to have a constant companion who follows you around the house all day long? Or do you want the freedom to come and go and not be worried about if you're going to be out of the house for 6, 7 hours? This dog's not used to that anymore. So I have to constantly be home. So every couple of hours, I think, oh, I better get home to let the dog out. Is that what you want in your lifestyle? And I hope that I've caught you early enough in the process that you haven't committed to getting a pet if you're early on in retirement. I really recommend that this is not the right time for you. Across the way, we have an older retired woman, and the dog is her whole life, and that's great. That is the perfect time to get a pet, is when you are alone and you're not out and about, and you need the companionship of a critter, a little critter. And that's when a lap dog is perfect. Like, she is great in the winter. She comes up, she cuddles with you. It's awesome. In the summer, not so much. So I hope I've given you some insight as to whether or not you want a pet and at what stage in retirement. So again, lifestyle first, then companionship second. You got to figure out what you want to do in your life. And this is your freedom. This is your chance to reinvent yourself. And please do not add that layer of a pet and that responsibility of a pet when you're not ready for it. It's a big responsibility, and they're going to be with you for a long time. She is 12, and I think we have a lot of years left together. So traveling for me is something I have to put off until I'm at a stage where she's either much less needy, or unfortunately she passes away, and then I have the freedom to travel. And that's not something I ever want anybody else to be thinking about. Oh, I have to wait for my dog to die so I can travel. Ooh, no, that's terrible. So please don't get a pet until you're ready. Think it through, and then go and check out your rescues. There's a lot of great dogs that need a home, and that you have the time and you have the attention to give them the extra care that they're going to need to come into a new life. So I hope we've given you some great ideas. I know this is a short video, but again, take the quiz below. It'll help you determine where you are and what your lifestyle is going to be in the second act, and then decide if the pet is right for you.